Hey everyone, it's William Moore. You're watching Beyond the Ties That Bind. Thanks for joining me. I hope that everyone is having as good of a day as you can possibly have. Now, I want to start out with a quote from one of my favorite people, Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens. This man had an understanding of humans unlike many. So he states, whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect. That is so true because right now the majority is buying into the psyops that social distancing is somehow going to keep them safe, when actually the opposite is true. Social distancing is not going to keep you physically safe, and it's going to harm people emotionally. We are social creatures. We thrive on socializing with others. Others like-minded, others in family, others even just talking to people in our neighborhood. We thrive on that interaction. Now, you have a majority of people right now buying into the entire lie. They're wearing masks. They're staying 6 feet away from their neighbors, 6 feet away from people in the stores. People who are not social distancing are being shamed. They're being snitched on. And we're being conditioned to accept this as a new normal. I'm not going to accept it as a new normal. Today, I was out talking to a friend, standing less than a foot away from him. People driving by, looking at us like we were doing something wrong, when we were not doing anything wrong at all. We were not breaking any law. We were exercising our freedom as human beings to conduct our lives as we see fit. Now, a lot of things going on, but I want to go to a video right now. Kevin James, who's known for playing Doug Heffernan on The King of Queens, recently put out a video. It's entitled Out of Touch. Now, I cannot play the entire video without getting a community guideline strike, and I'm already in hot waters, so to speak, with the powers that be, and I have violated the community guidelines, so they say, a few times now. I've had some videos pulled. I want to stay away from that as much as possible. I want to keep this channel up on YouTube as long as possible, because other platforms such as LBRY and BitChute, while they're good, you have a lot of problems with uploading to those. So anyway, I want to keep this channel alive for as long as possible. Even though I'm not, compromising, I want to get out the message of freedom, the message of truth. So he puts out this video, and I'll play parts of it and then I'll stop, maybe a little commentary. And this video is very telling. He paints a very frightening scenario concerning possible future events, and actually it's not really possible, it is more probable. And really, if you get down to it, this is what we're heading for. We're being conditioned to accept this as the new norm. So without further ado, we're going to start this video here. Two guys running through the woods. Now, these two guys are running from law enforcement, our police officers. They've got dogs hot on their trail, and we're wondering now, what could they have possibly done to bring down this type of heat? Okay, so now it's night. They've been running, I guess, for a long time. We'll see here in a little bit, hours. And they're getting ready to hide out here.
I can't do anymore, Marcus. I can't do anymore. I'm gonna die. I'm too young to die.
This is our life now. This is our life now, okay? We're gonna go on. It's gonna be fun.
Okay, so the one guy's starting to crack. He doesn't want to be caught. He doesn't want to go to jail. Apparently, neither one of them do, because they're both running from law enforcement. Our flaw enforcement.
I can't go on, Marcus. I can't do this. I'm gonna die.
Why are you shaking my hand?
I gotta run. I can't go to jail. I can't go to jail, Marcus. I can't.
Okay, so the police are circling, as they always do. I'm sure that they're hoping to catch these two guys so they can beat the crud out of them.
They're coming. They're coming.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Oh, no!
Hey, there we go! There we go!
So the one guy takes off, and now he's being mauled by dogs and probably beaten up by a few police officers in the process. And which leaves Kevin James here at the tree. Okay, so they've even brought in the helicopters here to hunt down these two fugitives from justice. 6 hours earlier. So Kevin James sitting in the park looking at his phone, and you hear footsteps.
Oh, hey, Ted. Oh, hey, Marcus. How are you?
Good, we out for a little run?
Hey, yeah, just did 7. Might do another 7, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't want to hold you up. Hey, let's grab dinner sometime.
I would love
Okay, so they're just talking in the park, two friends, and now, get this.
that.
All right.
You, me,
Good
Karen.
seeing you. Absolutely. I mean...
Now, some people might think this is a little far-fetched, but I don't think it's a little far-fetched at all. I don't think it's far-fetched in the least little bit. Because we're being conditioned for this type of society. Here we have a guy in a mask. He's making a call. Let's see who he's making the call to.
911, what's your emergency?
Hi, yeah. I got a couple handshakers right in front of me.
Okay, sir, are they still in the vicinity?
Yeah, I'm staring at them right now.
Okay, so a guy in a mask. He makes a call to 911, says, I've got two handshakers. Basically, people who are not practicing social distancing. Then you've got two broads who come up and they're taking pictures also, along with this dweeb, and, you know, who's on the phone. They're wearing masks. They're looking at these people like they're doing something wrong when they're just exercising freedom. They're just shaking hands. They're just talking. They're just acting as normal human beings would act.
Run.
Okay, so a lot of people might think that this is far-fetched, that this is, you know, fiction. It's not. This is what we're being conditioned for with social distancing right now, and you have a lot of snitching going on. You have people being rewarded for snitching, for narking, all across the United States from coast to coast. You have mayors, you have not only mayors, but governors telling people to snitch on their neighbors if they're not practicing these social distancing guidelines. Now, I've actually been reprimanded in stores by people for not social distancing, when actually it was the person who got within my space and then I didn't move back. Now, of course, me being who I am, I got rather belligerent with the person who was telling me that I needed to be social distancing, which caused them, once they saw someone my size, being belligerent with them, to back off. I will not stop being a human being for anyone or for any government. And remember this, no one has a higher claim to your life, how you live your life, how you interact with others, or your property than you do. No one else, no government, no president, no House of Representative member, no senator, no mayor, no governor, no county commissioner has a higher claim to your life and property than you do. You alone decide how you're going to live and how you're going to conduct yourself within society. So, you know, you have here from the New York Times, social distancing informants have their eyes on you. And if we read this, it says Kevin Roosh was at home on a recent evening scrolling through Facebook when he saw a photo that shocked him. A man with an American flag bandana wrapped around his hood stood at a rally demanding Wisconsin lift orders that had shuttered schools and businesses. That man was David Murdoch, a cardiologist from his hometown, Wausau. And Like the hundreds of other people at the rally, David Murdoch was maskless and did not appear to be practicing social distancing. In one photo op, Dr. Murdoch's arm was slung around a priest, with the two holding a sign that read, "We are essential service." Okay, so his picture popped up, and when I saw it, I was furious. Mr. Roosh said, "I thought this guy is out there hugging people and rubbing elbows without PPE on, and he's actively seeing patients. Oh my goodness, he's putting those patients in danger." So then Mr. Roosh shared Dr. Murdoch's photo on Facebook with an admonition about the doctor who boldly attended a rally amid a pandemic. "Go to his hospital at your own risk," Mr. Roosh put. Commentators piled on, and dozens of them contacted Dr. Murdoch's hospital. Mr. Roosh did too. By the next afternoon, Dr. Murdoch, 68, who's been practicing medicine in central and northern Wisconsin for 33 years, had been suspended for a week. So no, people, that video is not far-fetched. Here, this man, he's suspended from his job for a week for not practicing social distancing. Because if you're not social distancing, you don't care about others. You're just out to kill everyone. You're out to spread this coronavirus. So, and then you have the LA mayor. He's offering rewards to social distancing snitches. So it says, during an announcement on Tuesday, the mayor let people know that he would be very grateful for the help of concerned citizens willing to drop a dime on a non-compliant business, and that he planned to reward them for snitching. That comes from CBS Los Angeles. So, the video is not far-fetched. I mean, Kevin James is painting a very frightening scenario of our future, of our present. And then you have a situation here to where NYPD officer seen beating a man in social distancing arrest has a history of alleged brutality. But I'm going to show you something here in this video. It's not just one officer who's being brutal, who is carrying out brutality against another person. And the initial arrest was an arrest right here on a person who is not practicing social distancing. Look how they take this person down. And then tell me if the video that Kevin James put out is far-fetched or not. See, this is police brutality. This is police brutality. Not just what happens next, but this right here is police brutality. Now, here this man walks up. I don't know if he's going to try and break this up. And then you have the officer, and I apologize for this officer's language on here. He's definitely not professional, and hopefully he is being sued in court and loses his position and everything that he's ever owned. Hopefully everything that he's ever owned is taken away from him and his family. I cannot stand people like this.
Right now. Move the fuck back. Move the fuck back. What you flexing for? Don't flex. You're locked up too. Look. He ain't even do no.
Now here is more police brutality on top of what we've already seen. This officer is just pummeling this guy.
He ain't even do nothing. He ain't even do nothing. Look. He ain't even do nothing. He ain't even do nothing. He pussy.
Continues to pummel the guy after they have him down on the ground. This guy is a lowlife. And many police officers would act in the same manner he's acting all across the nation. They're order followers. They do not do what is moral. They obey. They conform. They carry out their orders. And you people who think that the police, the sheriff's departments are going to be on your side if they ever come around to collect weapons, going door to door to collect weapons, and you think that these types of people will be on your side, I guarantee that 99% of these people will follow the orders and directives they've been given to do whatever they have to do to you to make you comply, to bring you under their power. When they are threatened with not having a job, with not being able to feed their family, they're going to carry out the orders. They're going to comply. They're going to carry out the directives against you and your freedom. So it's time to stand up. We don't have much time left because you've got not only these type of jackbooted thugs here, but you've got the National Guard right now that's being, they're being, dispatched all across the country. And we're going to see food shortages, which are going to lead to riots. And we've got the National Guard already protecting the food supply. And they're going to be set up in order to quell civil disturbances. And so, you've got people like this already out there. And these National Guard troops, these local officers, the so-called law enforcement, what I call flaw enforcement, they're going to be out there and they're going to do whatever they have to do to make you comply. I'm not going to comply. Freedom first. I will die for my freedom. I will die a free man before I die or live a slave. So, you've got a lot of people, talking, you see in the comments that this is the video that Kevin James put out. That it's far-fetched, that, oh no, that's not going to happen. It's already happening. This is already happening, people. It's time to make a stand. It's time to stand up for your rights. So, and then you have not only this, but this is from the New York Post. FDNY, Fire Department New York, orders ambulance workers to snitch on social distancing scofflaws. So, you've got the FDNY has ordered all EMTs and paramedics to report anything that violates New York State's social distancing mandate, but some first responders think this is a terrible idea. There's no better way to make the public distrust EMS than to make EMS an arm of law enforcement. One veteran EMS worker told the Post, asking that his name not be used. Okay, so you don't want people to not call EMS because they're afraid that when EMS arrives, they're going to call the police, the veteran added. Okay, so this edict comes just 2 weeks after Mayor Bill de Blasio urged all New Yorkers to turn in their non-social distancing neighbors by texting a photo of violators, right here, by texting a photo of violators to 311. The mayor's snitch decry led to the tattletale line being flooded with penis photos and Hitler memes. Okay, so this is what's going on. We are being conditioned to snitch on our neighbors. This is 1984 on steroids. You have so much going on right now, trending right now. IKEA tightening security after a woman. Okay, well, this is why Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez should not be allowed to go out in public. But anyway, this is going on. We're being conditioned to give up our freedoms and to snitch on our neighbors. We're being conditioned to no longer live as human beings. We're being conditioned to be slaves. And there's an economic agenda to this. And of course, the vaccines and the testing, this all goes along with it. And if you're not tested, you'll probably have to wear some type of armband, or you will not be allowed to enter into an establishment, an armband or wristband showing that you've been tested. And then if you test positive, possibly an ankle bracelet that you're going to have to wear while you're under house arrest. This is 1984 on steroids. George Orwell could not even imagine what we have right now. And people are putting up with it because the conditioning, the brainwashing through that television set that's in your living room, it's working. It's working on you. You're being brainwashed. You're not able to think critically. You're being conditioned to be in a mode of cognitive dissonance all of the time. You have television stars coming on, telling you to social distance, telling you that we're all in this together. No, we're not all in this together. People who love freedom are not involved with people who do not love freedom. People who love freedom, truly love freedom. Remember H.L. Mencken yesterday when I talked about, how most people's love of freedom or idea of freedom is imaginary. That you're in the minority if you truly love freedom, and that you're an outlaw in society if you truly love freedom. So we're not all in this together. People who truly love freedom are willing to die for freedom. I'm willing to die for my freedom. Like I stated, I will die a free man before I live as a slave. So that's what I want my legacy to be. My legacy, freedom. Freedom above everything else in this world. Because nothing else matters if you don't have freedom. A life without freedom is a controlled life, and a controlled life has no value whatsoever. So, our Creator gave us the freedom to choose. He could have designed little robots, but he chose not to. He could have designed people to be good all of the time, but he chose not to because he wanted to see what was in the heart of each individual. That's why he gave us freedom. And then true freedom came when he sent Messiah to earth 2,000 years ago. And Messiah told us, he gave us just simple rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So anyway, people, we're being conditioned. I wanted to bring this video by Kevin James to your attention. I'll leave the link in the description so you can watch it in its entirety. And, we've got to start standing up against this and not protesting, just being free. That's the best protest of all. Just being free and living your life as free men. You don't have to go around carrying signs and begging your governor, begging your mayor, begging your county commissioner to give you back what they've taken from you. You don't allow them to take it in the first place. And I know a man, a friend of mine, I'm proud to call him a friend. I'm going to be interviewing him in the next day or so, and I'm going to air that interview. He would not back down. He stood his ground for freedom, for his family, so that his kids would have a father that they could be proud of. Everyone, have a wonderful day. This is William Moore for Beyond the Ties That Bind. Love everybody out there, except the spies. Until next time, peace.